There's a metric in retail that predicts spending better than foot traffic, better than conversion rate, and better than average basket size. It's called dwell time, how long someone stays in your store. And music is the single most accessible lever you have to control it. I'm Daniel Fox, founder of Entuned, and dwell time is basically why our company exists. Dwell time is simple. It's the total minutes a customer spends in your space from entry to exit. And the reason it matters so much is that almost every study on in-store behavior shows the same pattern. More time equals more spending, not always proportionally, not always linearly, but the correlation is one of the most robust findings in retail research. A 2012 study in the Journal of Retailing and Consumer Services made this dead simple. They measured 550 shoppers in stores with music versus silence. Music, any music, added 8 minutes of dwell time on average. And those extra 8 minutes corresponded to more spending. Not because the music hypnotized anyone, just because more time in the store means more products seen, more impulse triggers, more purchase decisions. 8 minutes. That's the gap between music and no music. Now imagine what happens when the music is actually optimized. Here's where it gets psychologically interesting. A study from the Journal of Business Research in 2000 uncovered something counterintuitive about dwell time and time perception. When shoppers heard unfamiliar music, they stayed longer, but they perceived their visit as shorter. When they heard familiar music, they left sooner, but they thought they had been in the store longer. I'll say that again. Unfamiliar music stretches real time while compressing perceived time. This is a massive insight. The ideal retail scenario is a customer who browses for 45 minutes but feels like they were only there for 20. They've seen your full inventory, they've made more purchase decisions, and they leave feeling like it was a quick, pleasant trip. That's the dwell time sweet spot, and it only happens with unfamiliar music. Familiar music, the hits, the playlists, the songs that people recognize, they actually work against you. It compresses real time and inflates perceived time. People leave sooner and they feel like they've overstayed. The restaurant version of this is even more direct. A 1986 study published in the Journal of Consumer Research tested slow versus fast music in a restaurant. Slow music extended the average meal by 11 minutes. That extra time translated directly into 3 additional drinks ordered per table and roughly a 40% increase in bar revenue. In that context, dwell time isn't just correlated with spending, it's the mechanism. More time at the table means more rounds of drinks. The music didn't make people thirstier, it made them comfortable enough not to rush. But there's a limit. A restaurant study from the European ACR in 1999 found that slow jazz extended stays by about 15 minutes, but the spending didn't scale proportionally. People sat longer but didn't keep ordering. So dwell time has diminishing returns. The relationship isn't infinite. There's a theoretical angle here from a cognitive science standpoint that hasn't been tested in retail yet, but it's too relevant to ignore. A book published by Oxford University Press in 2014 lays out the case that musical repetition creates a state of absorption. When you hear repeated musical structures, your brain enters a kind of flow state. You lose track of time. And 94% of the world's music uses repetition. No one has tested this in store. There's zero retail evidence, but the mechanism maps perfectly onto what familiarity studies found. Unfamiliar but structured music creates time distortion. Now, generative music, the way we build it at Entuned, is inherently repetitive in structure, but it's novel on the surface detail. Every listen is new, but the underlying patterns create that absorption state. It's the dwell time play, not just longer visits that feel shorter while they're actually longer. Dwell time matters because it's the container for every other retail metric. You can't convert a browser who's left after 90 seconds. You can't upsell a diner who's already asking for the check. Music extends that container. 8 minutes at baseline, more with the right approach. And the research points clearly toward unfamiliar, well-structured music as the optimal way to do it. This is one of those 28 studies I'm walking through in this channel. Each one adds a piece to the puzzle of how music actually works in commercial spaces. If you're in retail, hospitality, or brand experience, I'd invite you to subscribe. This is your curriculum, and if you want to experience what dwell time optimized music sounds like, Entuned has a free tier, completely free, no credit card. It stays free. Go to the link, entuned.co. It's in the description.